years of experience in IT.
Go ahead,
So
Aditi. Yeah.
yeah, sorry everyone. So with over 33 years of experience in IT and engineering, he stands tall as an enterprise architect and a world-class agile leader. Suresh transformative influences has left a remarkable remark on diverse industries like government, banking, telecom, automotive, health, and retail. Through groundbreaking technologies like Top Agile and E2EM, Suresh had empowered organizations to achieve remarkable cost reduction and efficiency improvement. So, as a renowned speaker, author, and a world class trainer, his insights have reached global audience, inspiring professionals through conferences and two compiling books. One is TOGAF Simplified, and other is Architecting Enterprise Transformation. He also certified thousands of professionals in domain such as TOGAF, Archimate, IT for IT, DB Book, OpenFair, and various skilled agile courses. So now let's not waste too much of your time. Let's dive into the topic product owner versus product manager territory. And also, please don't hesitate to share your question in the chat box. Mr. Suresh, after the webinar, would address all of your queries during our epic QA session at the end. So fasten your seatbelt as we set sail to explore new dimension of the product ownership and management, guided by Mr. Suresh unparalleled expertise. This promised to be adventure, worth chasing and sharing in the annal of knowledges. All to you, Suresh.
All right. Thank you, Aditi, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are at. So today's topic is what is the difference between the roles of a product owner and a product manager, right? So there is always a confusion, what a product owner should do and what a product manager should do. So I'll try to explore some of the differences between these two roles, right? So what we will be covering today is, we'll talk about who is the product owner, how different it is from the product manager, and what is the collaboration between these two roles, right? And why we should understand these two roles and all that. Okay. All right. Now, those who are familiar with the SAFe methodologies, the Scaled Agile methodology, so SAFe distinguishes between these two roles, right? The product owner and the product management or the product manager. So now if you look at this, so the product owner is at the bottom, which means this is the team level, right? So product owners are more towards that, agile teams who are executing the implementations, right? So whether they're developing any solutions or whatnot, so the product owners are responsible for that execution, whereas the product management is more a strategic role, right? So they do the market research and they do the identify what products or what solutions we need for the organization, and according to the SAFe, they are at art level, means agile release train, which is a cross-functional team, which is above the agile teams, right? So that is the fundamental difference between the product owner and the product manager, right? So product owner is at a execution level, executing the solutions and all, and whereas the product management or the product manager is more at a strategic level, giving the direction to the products, the solutions developed within the organization, right? So with that, let me dive into the product owner role first, and then we will talk about the product management later, right? So now, what are the responsibilities of the product owner? So they should connect with the customers, and contribute to the product vision and roadmap, managing the team backlog, prioritizing the team backlog, and then support team deliverables, getting the customer feedback, and implement the feedback, right? So these are the major responsibilities of the product owner. Now, we'll look into each one of them a little bit more in detail, okay? So uh, connecting with the customer, right? So since the product owner is at an execution level, so they interact with the end users, right? Collaborating with the product management or product manager, and they try to understand the customer, what are their requirements, and what they want, what they want to see in the products. So they have to understand the customer well so that they can deliver these solutions in a better way, right? And they have to understand, know the stakeholders apart from the end users, right? So these can be anyone, like a lean portfolio management or the enterprise architects or system architects. So these could be anyone within the organization. So they have to understand all their perspective as well, right? And they understand the problems, right? They identify the problems, what problem we are solving, what type of solutions we have to develop, and then they develop the whole product solutions, means what features the product needs, right? So what are the generic features the product needs, what are the expected features, what are the augmented features, right? uh, so all those features what they need, right? So that's the whole product solution they would be developing, right? So they are responsible for that, the whole product solution, not just the features that the customers are looking for, okay? And then they, sorry, here is a typo. So they contribute to their product vision and roadmap. Okay. So they understand the market and the market forces and voice of the end user, right? So they understand, what the customers need, right? So what are the forces of market forces, right? Where is the competition? What the competitors are doing, right? So what features the customers need, and since they are the interacting with the end user, right? So they become the voice of the end user to the agile teams, right? So if the agile teams wants to understand any of their requirements, so they go to the product owner, right? So assist the product management in the backlog prioritization, and then educate the teams on the product scope and vision. So what is the vision? So basically the product scope and vision will be developed by the product manager, but the product owner is the one who translate that to the agile teams, okay? And prioritize the team backlog, right? Since they are at the execution level, so they are the one who prioritize the team backlogs. So team backlogs has these user stories and all, right? So help the team in the story and the persona creation, not the personal creation. It's a persona creation, and then they prioritize the backlogs, accept the stories, and support technical user stories. Okay, so that's their role, basically to work with the teams on the prioritization of the team backlog, right? So prioritizing those user stories and all, and support the team in the delivery, right? Because the product owners are at an execution level, so they support the teams in the delivery, right? So they understand the various stakeholders' perspective, and they try to, compromise all the stakeholders, what they need, and so they try to balance their, the stakeholder needs, and they elaborate the stories, right? So because they own the team backlog, so they elaborate the stories. What are the user stories the agile teams needs to execute, and they foster the built-in quality, because unless we emphasize on the quality, the system, the solutions that we develop may not scale, right? So because a scrappy code does not scale, right? So they emphasize on fostering the built-in quality. And they participate in the team and the team of teams events, right? So anything that happens, like the PO sync or any team reviews, iteration reviews. So all those things, they attend those and participate and actively, guide the teams in those events. Okay. And then so they give their feedback take the feedback from the customers, right? So they test the feature benefit hypothesis. So the product managers are responsible for developing the benefit hypothesis, but the product owners, since they are at an execution level, they test this benefit hypothesis and they make sure that whether that hypothesis is proven or not, right? So whether to go for further development or whether to stop, right? The product owners are the one who is going to test that benefit hypothesis. And then they obtain the feedback from the customers, right? So they are the one who is taking the feedback from the customers, and they share the feedback with the teams, right? So they continuously evolve the solution design, right? So because they're working with the teams, agile teams, on the solutions they're developing. So they help the teams to design those solutions and evolve those solutions continuously. Now, so those are the roles, the responsibilities of the product owner. And then let's look at what the product managers do. So the product managers, they are exploring so because they are at a strategic level, right? So they explore the markets and the user needs, right? So they are, so if you look at the continuous delivery pipeline, so the continuous exploration is where we do the research, we find what the industry needs and all that, right? Market needs and all. So the product management, the product manager is responsible or participate in more of on the continuous exploration, right? So they are looking at what are the needs, right? They do the customer surveys, they do the market segmentation, right? And they understand the needs of the customers, right? So basically, they are applying the design thinking principles as well as a product manager, right? And so they are the one who is interacting with the customers to get the needs of the customer, to understand the customer needs and all that. And they define the product strategy, right? So what the product needs and how you have to develop the product and all. And they are the one who presents the vision to the teams and all, right? So in the SAFE, we have a PI planning, planning interval, the planning. So in that, the product management presents the product vision to the whole, all the members, right? So that is the responsibility of the product manager, and they are also coming up with the roadmap on how the product will be developed. And they manage the product backlog with all the features and all, the art backlog, right? So agile release train backlog, which consists of all these the features. And they prioritize all the features, right? So the product managers are responsible for prioritizing the features, and they are responsible for delivering the value. So ultimately, what the customer is going to get is defined by the product managers. Okay. And exploring the markets and the users. So as I said, they do the market research, they do the market segmentation, right? Understand who are the customers and what are the requirements, right? And they also identify the market rhythms and events. So there may be some regular events that happen, right? Some festivals or like a Christmas sales or whatever it may be, right? So they identify those those market rhythms and and the events that happen. So where when the customers expect those the features and all. Okay, and they understand the customer needs. Okay, so basically, since they are doing the market research and all, so they understand the customer. They are the one who has to understand the customer well and translate that to the other team members. And so connecting with the customer. So we need to adopt the as a product manager, you need to adopt the customer centric mindset. Meaning, so this the so customer centric mindset means, so you always look at the customer perspective, right? What the customer needs. So that is again going back to that design thinking, the method, right? So so design thinking is all about understanding the customer, right? So what they need, and not only so from the beginning to the end, right? It's not just you are engaging the customer at the fag end of the development cycle, right? So you have to engage the customer from the early stages to design, to understand the needs and design the product, right? And come up with the product strategy and all. So they are responsible for the whole, cycle, the continuous delivery pipeline, right? And they empathizes with the customer, right? So empathizing with the customer means, so you have to understand, what the customer needs. So you have to ask yourself, right, what the customer needs, what they want, what they hear, what they hear from the other customers, right? Or what they need, right? So you have to ask yourself all these questions so that you understand the customer in a better way. Okay, and then apply the systems thinking, right? So you should not look at one feature or few features, but you have to understand the whole system. Right? If you optimize each individual components, the whole system may not be that optimal, right? But if you think from a system perspective, right? So then you will be optimizing holistically, right? So you need to have a holistic approach rather than looking at each individual feature. And then involve the customers. So as a product manager, you have to understand and involve the customers to understand their needs and all. And then the product managers are the one who has to define their product strategy, right? The vision and the roadmaps. So they align the strategy with the business objectives and all, right? So product owners, product managers understand the business goals and objectives, and they align their product to those business goals and objectives, right? So you have to derive all these from the objectives, like the strategic themes, right? So you have to derive your the product vision, right? And then from the the product portfolio vision, and from the portfolio vision you have to derive your product vision, and from the product vision you have to derive your what all you need, the features and all that. So you need to have that linkage between the strategy and the business objectives, right? And you establish the value exchange model, right? So what the customers need, what is the value that the customers are expecting from this product, and what we have to deliver to them, and and in exchange, what is that the monetary benefit or whatever the benefit that you are going to get as an organization, right? And create the compelling vision, right? So the product managers are the one who are developing the vision, and and explaining that vision to the and make sure that that vision is understood by all the members of the organization, right? And especially whoever is developing the solutions, right? And they manage the flexible roadmaps, right? So you might come up with, so the product managers are the one who come up with the roadmap, but that roadmap may not be that fixed because it's an agile environment, right? So you should be have that mindset to to exchange the to improve the roadmaps or to modify the roadmaps as and when you need the requirements change. Okay, so that is another responsibility of the product manager. Okay, and the product managers, from a safe perspective, we call they own the art backlogs. Art means agile release train, as I said. Again, so this is the cross-functional team, right? Who's with all the features and all. Art backlog consists of the features. So they are responsible. They own that team, the backlog, art backlog, and they are responsible for the prioritizing those backlogs. So they are responsible for creating the features, right? Prioritizing the features using the WSJF. In SAFE, we have a method called WSJF, weighted shortest job first. So which is a method which prioritizes the features based on the cost of delay, right? So if we delay one feature or anything, so what is the cost incurred by the organization, right? So you have to take the one that has the highest cost of delay, and then the job size, right? So depending on these two, you can prioritize the features based on this, using this WSJF method. Okay. And so once the features are created and prioritized, so they are the one who accept the features, right? Once the features are developed, and they support the technical architecture, right? The architecture runway. So the system architects are the one who are developing the architecture runway. So architecture runway is the infrastructure that you build within the organization, right? So all the features, the business features, and the business user stories, right? So all the business features, they utilize this technical infrastructure, right? So the system architects are the one who are developing that technical infrastructure through the architecture runways. Now, even though the product management is not directly responsible for the architecture runways, so they are the one who has to provide that the space and they have to accommodate this the architecture runway within their the prioritization the backlog, right? So the enablers, so they are called enablers. So this business, the enabler features has to be accommodated in the backlog. They have to prioritize, and they have to be incorporated in their roadmap, right? So that is very important. So the product managers collaborate with the system architects to do that, right? And they participate in the team demos and events, right? So they are the one who participate in the team demos, check, whether there's, all the features or the user stories are done according to the plan or not. So they involve in those, system, team demos and events. Okay. And so they are the one that are responsible for delivering the value, right? So they collaborate with the teams, right? And the team of teams, they resolve the dependencies, right, between the teams, and bring the product completeness, right? So they make sure that the product is developed, in a full-fledged manner. And then whether that the value is realized by that by the product that they had developed or not, and they make sure that they meet the business goals, right? So since they can understand, they are the one who are aligning the implementation with the business goals and the strategies. So they make sure that the features that are developed, they meet the business goals. Okay. And they are also responsible for the fostering the innovation within the organization, right? So what type of innovation you need, whether it's a value stream innovation or technical innovation, technology innovation, right? Or some other innovation. So what innovations the organization needs, that also is, the product managers are responsible for, bringing the innovation within the organization, because they are aligning. So how do you come up with an innovation? So first you need to understand the strategy, business strategy of the organization. So based on that, you can come up with the innovation. So product managers foster that innovation within the organization. So they are responsible for, telling the organization, hey, these are the innovations that you need, and you need to focus on those innovations, right? Since they understand the customer as well, they are the best one who can foster the innovations. Okay. So with that, this is the brief introduction of the roles between the product owner and the product manager. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So I'll try to explain or answer your questions. Does anyone
Um,
have any questions?
I think that's a very insightful session it has been. So I think at this point of time, it seems that our audience has covered all the aspects comprehensive. But again, I would like everyone, if anybody will have any question, I think we have a one question,
Yeah,
Suresh.
I'm looking at that one. So in other words, we can say product manager and BA role is BA, I'm guessing it's a business analyst role is similar in other words. And the product manager and the scrum master role looks similar from an understanding here. I wouldn't say so. Product owner, no, product owner is responsible for the execution from a management perspective, right? And the business analyst is business analyst is a generic role. They understand the requirements and all that. So business analyst can play any role, product owner role or a scrum master role. But product manager is one level above, right? Above the product owners and product owners. Scrum Master is like a coach to the team, Agile team. So in an Agile team, the product owner and the Scrum Master are the main key roles, right? So the Scrum Master is responsible for coaching the team, right? So they guide the team, they clarify their questions and all, and they are basically the coach for that the team coach, right? Whereas a product owner, so they own the requirements and all that, so they own so they are responsible for the user stories, right? Prioritizing the team backlog, so they own these all these the user stories within the team, and they accept the user stories as well when once they are developed, right? So they own that the team log, which consists of all these user stories. Okay. So also for business capability planning process for PI planning will be prepared what stage by what whom. So this PI planning is a I would say so the frequency that is that the PA planning happens is 10 to 8 to 12 weeks, typically 10 weeks, which means it's almost like a quarter, right? 3 months. So every quarter, every 3 months, the whole portfolio, right? The members within the whole portfolio meets, right? So either physically or even virtually, and they plan for the next quarter, right? So they check what happened during the previous the PI, and they plan for the next PI, right? So what features they have to develop, and what is upcoming in the next feature. So they plan for that, and everybody agrees to that plan, and then they may and that plan is rolled out to everyone. So basically everyone will be present there, so they vote and they accept, and they go off and implement that the PI plan, right? So that is how the PI plan happens. So the product owner, so the product management manager is responsible for that the whole vision of that the PI basically of the product. So they present that their vision to the in during that the PI planning, and the product owner will assist the product manager in delivering that vision, right? because since the product owner is at an execution level, the product owner can give the feedback to the product management, right? What is happening at the ground level. So that's the relationship between the product owner and the product management manager in the PI planning. Okay.
Uh, Hi, I have a small question. This is Keshav here. Uh, for the product owner, we have a lot of options to know what to do, what to develop, and they have a guideline what to target for the backlog.
Mm.
How about product manager? How they get the insight of what the next a company should work towards? Because he is the one who has to get info from the market. So what all
Right.
tool he uses or what info site like information he has actually? Yeah.
So they are the one who are getting into the market, right? Understanding who are the customers, right? What are their needs, right? They are doing the market research and identifying, what are the needs of the market, and so they understand the customer well, and they can. So they suggest. So these are the features. These are the things that the customers are looking for. Now let's plan this. So they bring in that to the whole organization, and they decide on what can be done in this iteration or what can be done in the future, right? So they are the one who are interacting with the end customers, and they are understanding their needs and bringing those needs to the organization.
Okay, so they go market also and they research what the trend
Yeah.
are like this, huh?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And do you have a set of tools which, like I mean, application wise, which product owner generally use and what product manager use? I mean, application wise, one person who wants to be product owner or product manager, they should
Right.
have knowledge of Jira example. Likewise, what all tool journey they use? If
Yeah,
you
those Jira kind of tools can be used. There are many other agile tools. So if you go to Scale Agile framework and look for the tools that support the Scale Agile, so that gives you a better understanding of what tools you have in the market. Okay.
okay, thank you. Yeah.
So what should be an appropriate role currently to switch product owner role? So anything, right? So if you are a business analyst or who are, even sometimes the product manager also can play a product owner role, right? So anyone who is, wants to execute the products, right, or the implementation, so they can turn into a product owner role, right? And can any individual be from the development or testing background? Yes, I would say so. Yes, anyone can go into that the product. So especially the development and testing or operations, they can go into the product owner role. And where is the product manager to implement? What is that? Where is the product manager to implementing the product? I didn't understand the question. So what is the role of a product manager in implementing the product? So basically, they are not implementing the product. As I said, the product owner is the one who is implementing the product, but the project manager, not product manager. So project manager is more on the execution, like, so they are more at the product owner level. So they are implementing the product, right? So now the project is kind of getting, obsolete right now in the industry, because all the organizations are moving from project to product. So there is no project manager role. So very soon we will be seeing more product manager role, right, rather than a project manager role. So it's kind of similar, but the way that the projects are executed are different from the product, right? So product is long term, projects are short term, right? The budget wise, projects are, budgeted for a specific, thing, whereas a product is, you have a broader budget, right? Your whole value stream is funded, and you can accommodate your products in any way you want, right? So you don't have to go back and forth to the management to get the funds. So there are many benefits, when you move to a product development. So now we will see more product, managers rather than project managers. Okay. So got in some cases, business analyst act as a product owner, yes, as well as that is why I asked this question. So thanks for clarifying. Okay. So what tool and our skill set are needed for business case preparation for the project? So yeah, there is a, well, in the business case, in the sense from a scale agile perspective, we call it as a benefit hypothesis, right? So what is the benefit that the customer is going to get when they use this product? And so you need to, so when you go through the scale agile, training, you will understand how to create that benefit hypothesis, and how to articulate the value that the product is delivering to the customer. Okay. So the business case to capture the CapEx, OpEx. So yeah, that basically the benefit hypothesis is the one that captures all that information. Okay. And so as a business analyst, what is the next step, the product owner or product manager? Or so yes, as a business analyst, you can first become a product owner, right? So as I said, that's simple, because as a business analyst, you are also at the execution level, and as quickly you can turn into a product owner. So once you become a product owner, then the next step is to become a product manager, right? So that is more, as a strategy role, as I said. So understanding the market, doing the market research, right? Those things you have to learn. So you need some special skills to become a product manager. So Scrum Master is a different role, right? So we are talking about Scrum Master as a coach, right? So if you want to go into the product owner, product manager role, you don't have to look at the Scrum Master role, I would say. Okay. And another question we have is, if you go by Epic and break down to the user story, can I say Epic determined by the product manager? No, I would say, because product manager is still at the art level, which is at the feature level, right? So epics are owned by the portfolio managers, right? Portfolio manager, not product managers. Portfolio managers, are the lean portfolio management is the one that owns the epics, and that is broken down to some capabilities or features. That is, those features are owned by the product manager, and the user stories are owned by the product owner. That is fine. Okay. So will certification help us progress in this path? Yes, definitely. If so, which certification would you suggest? If you both these, so in SAFe, the Scale Agile framework, there are two certifications for these two roles. So there is one certification called POPM, Product Owner and Product Manager, so which gives you a better understanding of the both the roles, product owner as well as product manager. I would say the owner is more in the POPM certification, right? So we get more details on what the product owner role is and what they're supposed to do. And there is another certification called APM, Agile Product Management, right? So that is more geared towards the product manager role, right? So these two certifications, depending on where you are at and what role you are interested in. If you are more interested in product owner, I would say go for POPM. If you are more interested in the product management, then you can go for this APM course. Okay. And then considering the current AI impact, what best tools are required in scaled agile, given that the impact of AI has changed a lot in the current market? Yes, means all the technologies, there are new technologies are coming in, which kind of impacts some of the implementation, right? But as a product owner or a product manager, now you have to look at, so given these new technologies coming in, right? So AI or, the big data or, the blockchains or cloud or whatever the new technologies that are coming in, how best we can provide this solution, right? So that is where this come into play. Understanding of these new technologies will help you. But so basically, from a role perspective, right? So the knowledge of those new technologies will help you. But how do you approach the problem is pretty much the same, right? Uh, so whatever the new technologies are, you just have to incorporate those within your solution. Okay. So I'm currently acting PO without certification. Can I go for APM without PO certification? Yes, if you are already a PO or a product owner, you better do a APM certification so that you can become a product manager. So since you are already a product owner, so you don't need a certification for that. Yes, I would say definitely. And how important is the domain knowledge while considering PO or PM roles? Now, as a PO, right, probably you don't need that much of a domain expertise, I would say, because you are executing. Of course, you have to have an understanding of the domain or the new technologies that are coming in. But if you want to be a PM, product manager, that's where probably you need more domain knowledge, right? Since you have to understand the market, the trends and all more. So that's where your domain knowledge may help you. But as a product owner, you may not need that. So you need that domain knowledge, but not that much as a product manager. Okay. So I think these are the questions we have. If anyone else have any other questions, feel free to ask. We have some more time, a little bit more time. I can be here for a few more minutes. So if I don't see any message, probably I will stop here. Okay. And so if you want to reach me, I believe I have this. Is this? Oh, I don't have the email ID here. So let me put my email ID in the chat so that you can all have my email ID. Let me. Where is all? Oh, I don't see all. Meeting group chat. Okay. So let me put my email ID here so that you can access my email ID. I mean, you can reach me if you want. Okay. All right. So thank you all for participating in this webinar. And we will post this recording on our website and also on the YouTube. So we will post it to the event, notification. So you all get a notification on this the recording. So thank you all for joining this webinar, and we will see you in our next webinar, anything that is coming up. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.